Greeting and welcome all on behalf of NIMI Chennai. I am G. Rajeshwarna from NSTI Chennai. Today our topic is electrician hand tools and their specification. In our previous video, we discussed some important electrician hand tools, their specifications, uses, care and maintenance. In this video, we are going to see some more commonly used electrician tools, the specifications, uses, care and maintenance to be taken. Let us get into our class. Electrician trade hand tool and the specifications. Part 2 electrician hand tools. Our next tool is plumb bob. It is used for marking vertical reference lines on the wall. It has a pointed weight tip with a center hole at the top for attaching a string. This is used to marking a vertical reference lines on the wall while we are making wiring and some other electrical work. Care and maintenance of plumb bob. Do not drop to the ground as it may get damaged. Next tool is Bradwell square pointer, also known as poker. BIS number is 103751982. It is a long sharp tool used for making pilot holes on the wooden articles to fix screws. They are specified by its length and diameter. Example 150 mm into 6 mm. Care and maintenance of Bradwell are: do not use it on metals for making holes. We should not use Bradwell for making holes in any metals. It is mainly purposed for wooden articles. Keep it in good sharpened condition. The point not be blunt. Next tool is gimlet. It is used for boring small holes on wooden articles. It has a wooden handle and a boring screwed edge. They are specified by its diameter: 3 mm, 4 mm, 5 mm, etc. Care and maintenance. Do not use it without the handle and do not use it on nails. While making holes, keep it in straight position. Otherwise, the screwed portion can get damaged. Our next tool is center punch. BIS number is 7177. It is used for marking and punching pilot holes on metals. The size is given by its length and diameter of the body. Example 100 mm into 8 mm. The angle of the tip of the center punch should be 90 degree. It is made of tool steel and the ends are hardened and tempered. Care and maintenance. Always keep the tip sharp and a proper angle. Avoid mushroom heads of a center punch. Our next tool is mallet. It is used for driving the firmer chisel and for straightening and bending of thin metallic sheets. Also, it is used in motor assembly work. The mallet is specified by the diameter of the head or by the weight. If we specified by the diameter 50 mm into 150 mm or 75 mm to 150 mm likewise. If they are specified by the weight 500 grams, 1 kilogram, likewise we have to specify. It is made out of hard wood or nylon. Care and maintenance of mallet are: do not use it for fixing nails and never use it on hard metals like steel and iron. Next tool is ratchet brace. BIS number 7042. They are used to drill holes on wooden blocks. The size of the ratchet brace is given by the size of drill bit. It can accommodate 0 to 6 mm or 0 to 12 mm likewise. Next tool is flat cold chisel. BIS number is 402. It is specified by its nominal width and length, that is 14 mm into 100 mm or 15 mm into 150 mm likewise. This chisel is used for making holes on wall. The body shape of a cold chisel may be round or hexagon. Cold chisel is made out of high carbon steel. The cutting edge angle varies from 35 degree to 45 degree. The cutting edge of the chisel is hardened and tempered. Care and maintenance of flat cold chisel are: the edge of the chisel must be maintained as per the required angle. While grinding a chisel, apply a coolant frequently so that its temper may not be lost. Our next tool is roll plug tool and bit. It is used for making holes in bricks, concrete wall and ceilings. Its size depends upon the numbers. As the number increases, the thickness of the bit as well as the plug also increases. Example, number 8, number 10, number 12, etc. Roll plugs are inserted in them to fix accessories. A roll plug tool has two parts, namely the tool bit and the tool holder. The tool bit is made of tool steel and the tool holder is made of mild steel. Care and maintenance of a plug is: slightly rotate the holder after each hammering stroke. Hold the tool straight. If we make some slanting position, the edge may get damaged. Do not throw it on the ground as the edge get damaged. Keep its head free from mushrooms. Next tool is spanner double-ended. Its BIS number is 2028. For loosening and tightening of nuts and bolts, spanner sets are used. The size of a spanner is indicated so as to fit on the nuts. They are available many sizes and shapes. The size indicate that double-ended spanners are 10 to 11 mm, 12 to 13 mm, 14 to 15 mm likewise. It is made out of cast steel. They are available in many sizes and they may have single or double ends. There are different types of spanner sets available, depends upon the usage of the work. Ring spanner set BIS is 2029. The ring spanner is used in place where the space is restricted and where high leverage is required. Socket spanner set or box spanner set. BIS is 7993 7991 6129. These types of spanners are useful at places where the nut or bolt is located in narrow space or at depth. Next tool is single-ended open jaw adjustable spanner. BIS is 6149. It is an adjustable spanner. The movable jaw is made adjustable by operating a screw. It is also known as a monkey wrench or monkey spanner. They are available in specifications of 150 mm, 200 mm, 250 mm, etc. It saves time and working efficiency. Care and maintenance of spanner are: use correct size spanner suitable to the size of nut and bolt corresponding to it. Do not use a spanner as a hammer. While using a spanner, do not strike it with a hammer. Prevent the grease and oil traces on its jaws to make the screw easy flow. Next tool is measuring steel tape. It is specified by its size that can be the maximum length that it can measure. Example, blade 12 mm width 2 meter long. Blade 12 mm width 10 meter long. That means the measuring tape can measure up to the maximum length of 10 meter. It is used for measuring the dimensions of wiring installations and general measurements. The measuring tape is made of thin steel blade bearing dimensions on it. So how to take care and maintenance? Handle with great care, as carelessness may spoil the measurement dimensions printed on the tape. Next tool is hacksaw. BIS numbers for hacksaw is BIS 5169-1986 for frames and BIS 2594-1977 for blades. It is mainly used for cutting metals. It is made out of Stucky nickel plated steel frame. The frame can be adjusted for 250 mm to 300 mm blades. It should be fixed on the frame with its teeth pointing away from the handle in order to do the cutting in forward stroke. Care and maintenance procedure for hacksaw blade and frames are: the blade should be properly tightened when it is fixed on the frame, and use a coolant while cutting any metals. It should be kept straight during cutting to avoid the damage of the blades. Lift the saw slightly on the return stroke and do not attempt to saw too fast. Our next tool is pincers. BIS is 4195. It is used for extracting nails from the wood. The size is given by its length, example 100 mm, 150 mm, etc. And care and maintenance: do not use it as a hammer. Next important tool is hand drill. It is a small portable drilling machine designed to be held and operated by hand. A hand drill machine is used for making holes in thin metal sheets or wooden articles. The size is given by the twist drill bits which can be fitted in it. Example 6 mm, 0 to 12 mm capacity. The one more important tool is portable electric drilling machine. The portable electric drilling machine is a hand supported power driven machine tool that rotates twist drills. The portable electric drilling machine electrically powered by means of an internal electric motor. When power is available, a power drill machine is a more convenient and accurate tool for drilling holes on wooden and metal articles. Portable drills are rated by the maximum size hole that can be drilled into steel without overtaxing the motor or drill. That means a half-inch capacity drill is capable of drilling half-inch diameter hole in steel or wood. Care and maintenance to be followed for drilling machines are: lubricate all the moving parts of the machine and fix the drill bit firmly in the jaws before start drilling. Before start drilling, mark the job with a center punch. For taking out the drill bit, move the chuck in the reverse direction. Always do not apply excess pressure on the small bits. In the case of an electric drilling machine, it must be properly earthed and the insulation should be healthy. Though there are so many tools available, these are the most common tools absolutely needed by an electrician. Now I hope you all understand the common tools and how they are specified and what all the uses and how to take care and maintenance to keep the tools in good condition. Don't forget, hand tools has to be taken care with a perfect maintenance so that we can do our job safely and effectively. Thank you all and see you in our next video.
Greetings, welcome you all on behalf of NIMI, Chennai. I am Thangababu from Government ITI, Chengalpattu, Tamil Nadu. Today we are going to discuss on pipe flaring. At the end of this class, you shall be able to state the types of flaring methods, the applications of flaring fittings, pressurize the joint system to conduct test for leak. Students, the pipe flaring will be done in water flowing pipes, gas distribution pipes and copper pipe. Now shall we see the process of flaring. Flaring is one of the special tool used for making flares at the end of the tubes. The common practice for flaring is to connect the flaring tool at the end of the tube. Rotate the knob until making flare on the tube. The flaring is done at the end of the tube fittings for vapor tight seal. Students, the flaring is classified into two types. 1. Single thickness flare. 2. Double thickness flare. Single thickness flare is a type of making flare on smaller size copper tubing. Double thickness flare is used for larger size copper tubing, that is 5 or 16 inch or 9 mm outer diameter of the copper tube. The double flare makes a stronger joint than a single flare. The defects of flaring. While fitting the tube on the mismatched position, we can't get proper joints on the end of the tube. So, we want to avoid mismatching by proper handling of the tool. In our mechanical sector, we use lot of metals like copper, brass, bronze, steel and iron. Flat tube fittings are used to attach the soft copper pipe fittings. Now let us see the testing of joints. Flare joint or braced joint is to be tested by pressurizing the joints. In pressurizing test, the compressed air of 150 psi or 10 kg per centimeter square is allowed. The specific pressurized gas will be used for testing. The soap solution is applied on the joint to detect the leak. If there is leak, the bubbles will be formed on the surface. Suppose if it leaks while working, it will put the whole system into problem. Pressure tests are usually made on the joints above the working pressure. Hence, clear the leaks properly. Till now, we learned about the flaring and fitting flare process. The pipe cutting should be done perfectly to prevent leaks. So, we must use the proper tool for cutting the pipes. Here we use pipe cutter. It has sharpened wheel. Turn around the pipe to cut. By screwing the knob, it increases pressure on the wheel to go deeper and deeper through the pipe until it finally cuts thoroughly. The pipe cutter is more convenient and better than a saw when cutting pipes and metal tube. Students, so far we discussed about pipe flaring, flare fittings and testing the joints. I hope you all understood. Thank you. Meet you in the next video.
Good morning everybody, I am Sivarasu from NSTA Chennai. Today we are going to discuss about the grade of files. What is meaning of grade of file? The file grades are determined by the spacing of teeth. That means number of teeth per square inch or square centimeter. There are different grades of file. Number 1 rough file, number 2 basted file, number 3 second cut file, number 4 smooth file, number 5 dead smooth file. The number 1 rough file. Rough file is used for removing rapidly a large quantity of metal. It is mostly used for trimming the rough edges of soft metal casting. For an example, rough file for 6 inch length or 150 mm length, there are 8 teeth per 10 mm. That means 1 centimeter length, there are 8 teeth. Number 2, basted file. The basted file is used in cases where there is heavy reduction of material. For example, 200 mm length of file, there are 11 teeth are in 10 mm length. Number 3, second cut file. The second cut file mainly used to give good finish on metals. It will produce a good surface finish. It is an excellent file to hard material. It is useful for bringing the job very close to the finishing size. For example, 150 mm length of file, they will use 17 teeth per centimeter. Number 4, smooth file. The smooth file is used to remove small quantity of material and give good surface finish. Number 5, dead smooth file. A dead smooth file used to bring the material to accurate size and also high degree of surface finish. For instance, the most used grades of files are maximum, basted file, second cut, smooth and dead smooth file. The grades are recommended by the as per BIS, Bureau of Indian Standard. So different size of files with the same grade will have the varying sizes of teeth. In longer files, the teeth will be coarser. I hope you all understand the grade of files, and thank you.
On behalf of NIMI, I welcome you all to the welder trade video session. Today I am going to explain Aksha frames and blades. Before going to explain Aksha frames and blade, I would like to start with some example. If you want to stitch the shirt, what will you do? Go to purchase your favorite shirt, then go to the tailor shop. The tailor take measurement according to the shirt with help of your tape. Then transfer the measurement to the cloth with help of marker. Based on the witness marking, used to cut the size as per the with help of the scissor. Then stitch go to the required shape. So you can understand, if you want to make a shirt, what are the skills it is need, not only the stitch. If it is need for measuring skill, marking skill and cutting skill. So that as a welder, if you want to make a job, it is required the skills like the measuring, marking, cutting and the related field work. The cutting skill used for Aksha and blade, it is the base fundamental cutting tools in a workshop. Now I would like to share the knowledges about the Aksha frames and blade. The Aksha is one of the hand cutting tool. It is made with different sections. It is also used to cut a slot or counter. Now we will see the parts and function. In hand Aksha, there are two main parts are there. One is frame, another one is blade. Frame is the parts of fixed blade and handle is the purpose of holding. Fixed the holder, it's having two holders for blade fixing. One for fixed blade holder, another one is adjustable. Between the two holders, the blade can be held with use of wing nut. It is used for the hand tight of the blade. Blade is the hand Aksha used for cutting tool. Because as the usages of blade and Aksha frame, it is classified into two types. One is a solid frame, another one is adjustable frame. In a solid frame, we can see the fitted only the one particular standard length of the blade. Because in the solid frame, distance between the fixed blade and the holder cannot be adjusted, so that we can fix only the one size blade. Then another one is adjustable frame. In this adjustable frame, the distance between the two adjustable blade, it can be interchangeable, so that according to the size we can change the size, we can adjust the limiter due to with help of the blade adjustment frame and with the adjustable of the blade holder. So due to the reasons we can hold. The adjustable frame again classified based on the metal section, like one is flat type, another one is tubular. The flat type adjustable frame is heavy weight. This type of frame can be used in where the people have heavy metal cutting is needed, more force and load applied. For example, more thickness job cutting places and hard metal cutting places. Next one is tubular type adjustable frame. This is the lightweight. This is most commonly used. It gives the better grip and control while showing less thickness job like pipe, sheet and curve cutting. Now we will go to the next part of the Aksha blade. A Aksha blade is a thin narrow steel bend. Teeth are cut at the edge of the blade. The blade has two pinholes at the end. These pinholes are used to hold the blade on a frame. The length of the blade is also decided between the distance of the two pinhole centers. The standard length of blade is 200 mm and 300 mm. The blade is made of either alloy steel or high speed steel. According to the type of hardening the blade, it has been classified in two types. One is all hardened blade and another one is flexible blade. Now we see the all hardened blade. This type of blade is hardened between the two pinholes. That means full length of the blade portions is hardened. Next one is flexible blade. For this type of blade is hardened only the teeth portion, because this blade need some flexible so that we can use to for the curve cutting and thin places. Next we go to the see pitch of the blade. First we see what is the pitch. Pitch is nothing. That is distance between the two teeth cutting edges is known as pitch of the blade. According to the length of the pitch of the blade, again classified like coarse, medium and fine. Now see what is the meaning of coarse. Coarse means which the pitch is size is 1 mm. Medium means which is the pitch size is from 1.0 mm to 1.4 mm. And fine pitch means which the pitch size is 0.8 mm. Now we see the uses. Coarse pitch blade can be used for hard metal and heavy metal cutting and more thickness job. Medium pitch blade can be used for medium cutting place. The fine pitch blade can be used for pipe cutting and sheet cutting purpose. Then we see how to specify the Aksha. Aksha blades are specified according to the length and pitch of the type of the hardness. Next one is setting of the saw. To prevent the saw blade bending between the edges when penetrating into the material and to allow free movement of the blade, the width of the cut is to be broader than the thickness of the saw blade. This is achieved by the setting of saw teeth. There are two types of setting. One is trigger set, another one is wave set. In the trigger set, the type of teeth are arranged one by one with a group of teeth. So these arrangements help to cutting the provides a good of the chip clearance. In a wave set, the teeth are arranged based in a wave form. So this blade can be classified based on this pitch size. The blade pitch is 0.8 mm. The blade teeth is maybe a wave set. If the blade is pitch in 1 mm, the blade teeth may be a wave or staggered setting. If the blade is pitch is over than 1 mm, the blade teeth is a staggered. If you want to be best result oxying, it is depends upon the selections of the right specifications of the blade, like length, pitch and type of the hardened, then fitted on the oxa frame. I hope you all understand about oxa frames and blades. Thank you.
Greeting and welcome all on behalf of NIMI Chennai. I am G. Rajeshwarna from NSTI Chennai. Our today's topic is importance of good housekeeping. Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you shall be able to explain the housekeeping and you can able to state the importance of good housekeeping in workplace and list the steps involved in housekeeping, and you can able to state good shop floor practices followed in industry. Housekeeping is about general care, cleanliness, orderliness and maintenance. Generally, parents provide good housekeeping to keep safe and clean home for the children. Similarly, in occupational area also the good housekeeping is necessary. Housekeeping is not just a cleanliness, it also includes the keep the shop floors clean, neat, safe, orderly and maintaining the floors and halls free from slips and trip hazards and removing the waste materials and removing some fire hazards from the work area. So let us see how to keep good housekeeping in the working environment. Housekeeping. The following activities to be performed to keep a better working environment. First one, cleaning of shop floor. Shop floor should be clean and free from accumulations of dirt and scrap. Second one, cleaning of machines. Keep the machines cleaned well to reduce the accidents. Next, prevention of leakage and spillage. Use splash guards in machines and collecting tray to prevent leakage and spillage from the machinery. Fourth one, disposal of scrap. Dispose the scrap, wastage, swarf from respective containers regularly. Next one is tools storage. Use special rack holders for respective tools. Sixth one, storage spaces. Identify storage areas for respective items. Do not leave any materials in gangway. Seventh point, pilling methods. Do not overload platform, shop floor and always keep the material at safer height. Next point, material handling. Use forklift, conveyors and hoist according to the volume and weight of the packages to handling the materials. Next, what we are going to see is about good shop floor practices followed in industry. Worker training is an essential part of any good housekeeping program. Workers need to know how to work safely with the products they use. They also need to know how to protect other workers, such as by posting signs and reporting any unusual conditions. Good shop floor practices are motivating action plans for improvement of the manufacturing process. All workers are communicated with the daily target on manufacturing activities. Informative charts are used to post protection, quality and safety measures. Workers are trained on written product quality standards. Manufactured parts are inspected to ensure adherence to quality standards. Production processes are planned by engineering to minimize product variation, and 5S methods are used to organize the shop floor and production lines. Workers are trained on plant safety practices in accordance with Occupational Safety Health (OSH) standards. Workers are trained on root cause analysis. A written preventive maintenance plan is provided for keep up of plant, machinery and equipment clean and in organized manner. Management meets with the plant employees regularly to get suggestions or ideas on process improvement. Process improvement teams are employed to implement best practices. Yeah, effective housekeeping can help to control or avoid workplace hazards, whereas a poor housekeeping may frequently lead to unwanted incidents. A good housekeeping program plans to control and manage the orderly storage and the movement of materials from entry point to exit point. So it is important to maintain a good housekeeping. A good housekeeping is not a one-time or hit and miss cleanup. It is an ongoing safety practice. So maintain good housekeeping in your work environment and ensure your safety and your co-workers' safety also. I hope now you all understand the housekeeping and the importance of housekeeping and the steps involved in good housekeeping in your work environment and good shop floor practice followed in industries. Thank you and see you all in our next class. Greeting and welcome all on behalf of NIMI Chennai. I am G. Rajeshwarna from NSTI Chennai. Today's topic is importance of safety and general precautions observed in industry and shop floors. Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you shall be able to state the importance of safety, able to list out the safety precautions to be observed in industry or shop floor, and also you can able to list out the personal safety precautions to be observed in machine shop and list out the safety precautions to be observed while working on the machines. Generally, accidents do not happen, they are caused. Most of the accidents are avoidable. A good craftsman, knowing the varieties of safety precautions, can avoid accidents to himself and to the co-workers, and also he can save the machineries from any damages. To achieve this, it is important that every person should follow safety procedures. Safety in a workshop can be broadly classified into three categories: general safety, personal safety and machine safety. Let us see one by one. First one is general safety. Always keep the floor and gangways clean and clear. Move with care in the workshop. Do not run. Don't leave the machine unattended while it is in operating condition. Don't touch or handle any equipment or machine unless they are authorized to do so. Don't walk under suspended loads. It is dangerous. Don't do practical jokes while on work condition. Use the correct tools for the particular appropriate job. Keep the tools at their proper place after use. Wipe out split oil immediately in the floors if there is any. Replace worn out or damaged tools immediately. Clean the machine only when it is not in motion. Sweep away the metal cuttings from the workplaces immediately. Know everything about the machine before you start or using it. The next one is personal safety. Wear a one-piece overall or boiler suit. Keep the overall buttons fastened. Don't use ties and scarves. Roll up the sleeves tightly above the elbow. Wear safety shoes or boots. Cut the hair short. Don't wear a ring, watch or chain or any loose ornaments. Never lean on the machine when it is in motion. Don't clean your hands in the coolant fluid. Don't remove the guards when the machine is in motion. Don't use cracked or chipped tools for your work. And don't start the machine until the workpiece is securely mounted and the feed machinery is in neutral and the work area is clean and safe. Don't adjust clamps or holding devices while the machine is in motion. Never touch the electrical equipments with wet hands. Don't use any faulty electrical equipment on your workplace. Ensure that electrical connections are made by an authorized electrician only. Concentrate on your work. Have a calm attitude. Don't get emotional way. Do things in a methodological way. Don't engage yourself in conversation with others while concentrating on your job. Don't distract the attention of others from their work. And don't try to stop a running machine with bare hands. Next one is machine safety. Switch off the machine immediately if something goes wrong. Keep the machine clean always. Replace any worn out or damaged accessories, holding devices, nuts, bolts, etc. as soon as possible. Do not attempt operating the machine until you know how to operate it properly. Do not adjust a tool or the workpiece unless the power is off. Stop the machine before changing the speed. Disengage the automatic feeds before switching off it. Check the oil level before starting any machines. Never start a machine unless all the safety guards are in position. Take measurements only after stopping the machine. Practicing safety in workplaces benefit for not only you but it benefits for also your co-workers. Safety is a concept, understand it, and safety is a habit, cultivate it. So I hope now you all understand the importance of safety and you know the precautions to be observed for general safety, personal safety and machine safety in industries or shop floors. Thank you and see you all in our next class. Greeting and welcome all on behalf of NIMI Chennai. I am G. Rashvarna from NSTI Chennai. Our today's topic is lifting and handling of heavy loads. Subtopic is lifting and moving of heavy loads using lifting equipments in industries. In our previous video, we discussed about the safe manual lifting techniques. So in this class, what we are going to see is a safe lifting and moving of heavy loads using lifting equipments in industries. In industries, the moving of heavy loads can use any of the following methods: by using cranes and slings, or by using winches, or by using machine moving platform, or by using layers and rollers. So let us see one by one in details. First method is using crane and slings. This method is used whenever loads are to be lifted and moved. Before start lifting, examine the steel rope slings for any cut, abrasions, wear, fraying or corrosions. Remember this, damaged slings must not be used for lifting. Distribute the weight as evenly as possible between the slings when using more than one sling. And always keep the slings as near to the vertical as possible. So next technique for moving heavy loads is using winches. Winches are used to pull heavy loads along the ground. They may be power driven or hand operated. Before starting moving the load, ensure that the safe working load SWL of the winch is adequate for the task. Now choose a suitable sling and pass it around the base of the load and secure it to the hook of the winch. Here we should note one thing. Some heavy items have special lugs welded to them for jacking and towing purposes. So we have to use the lugs. Safety consideration while using winches for moving equipments. Before using any winch, check that the brake and the ratchet mechanisms are in working order. Practice how to use the brakes. Now keep hands and fingers well away from the gear wheels. Keep the bearings and gear oiled or greased. Next technique in our list is machine moving platforms. This is a special device made to move heavy equipment in industries. First, pass a suitable sling around the load at the convenient height and attach the sling to the hook of the winch and draw the load on the platform until its center of gravity lies between the front and rear wheels. Now lower the jacks so that the platform rests on its wheels. For unloading, follow the procedure in the same reverse order. Our next technique for using layers and rollers. Sometimes a load cannot be moved along the ground because of the irregular shape of base or because it is not rigid enough. Place such a load on a flat bottomed pallets or layers resting on the round bar as shown here. Ensure the bars or rollers are long enough to project at each side of the load for ease of handling. They should be larger enough to roll easily over any uneven surface along the route but should be small enough to be handled easily. 2 or 3 bars of equal diameter are sufficient for most loads, but if 4 or more are used, the load may be moved faster as there is no delay when moving the rear bar of the front. Move the load by using a crowbar. Keep the crowbar at the end of the pallet with an angle and a firm grip on the ground. Now apply the force at the top of the bar as shown here. When a load is on rollers, only shallow slopes can be negotiated. to negotiate a corner on rollers. So when we want to make the rollers to cross over any corners, for a moderate load, insert one roller a little larger in diameter than the others as the corner is approached. When this roller is under the center of gravity of the load can be rocked to and fro on the roller and swiveled around sideways. For heavier loads, stop the load on the roller at the beginning of the corner. Now, twist the load round on the rollers by pushing the sides with crowbars until the load is just over the ends of the rollers. Now, place some extra rollers at an angle to the front of the load. Push the load forward on these rollers. Now, continue the same until the load is pointing into the desired directions. Now, safety consideration while moving heavy loads with crowbars or jacks. Make sure your hands are clear of the load before lowering it on the packing or rollers. Do not use your hands underneath the packing when positioning it. Now, use a push block. Place the packing on the floor and push it under the load. Now hold it by its side faces, keeping the fingers well away from the lower edge of the load and from the floor. Safety consideration while raising a load. Check that the slings are correctly secured to the load and to the hook. And ensure that they are not twisted or caught on the projecting part of the load. Before starting to lift a load, if you cannot see an assistant on the far side of the load, verify that he is ready to lift the load and ensure that his hands are clear for the slings. Warn nearby workers that the lifting is about to begin. Always lift slowly. Take care to avoid being crushed against other objects as the load arises. Why? Because it may swing or rotate as it leaves the ground position. Minimize such movement by locating the hooks as accurately as possible about the center of the gravity of the load. Next, what we are going to see is safety consideration while moving a load. Check that there are no obstacles in the way of the crane and load. Stand clear of the load and move it steadily. Be prepared to stop the load quickly if somebody moves into its path. Ensure that the load will not pass over the head of other people. Sometimes the tackle or sling may fall or slip. So, warn other workers to stand clearly away from the root of the load. Many of the accidents recorded in industries involve injuries caused by wrong lifting and carrying of heavy loads. Remember that accidents do not happen, they are caused by. Okay, so it is important to follow the correct and safe handling methods of heavy loads in the industry to avoid unwanted accidents to ourselves and to the other persons also. So I hope now you all understand the lifting and handling techniques and its safety considerations. Thank you and see you in our next video. Greeting and welcome all on behalf of NIMI Chennai. I am G. Rashvarna from NSTI Chennai. Today's topic is lifting and handling of heavy loads. The subtopic is manual lifting techniques. Objectives. At the end of this class, you shall be able to state lifting operation and its types. You can able to state manual liftings of heavy loads and also list the possible injuries while lifting heavy loads, and also you can able to explain the correct manual lifting techniques of heavy loads. So, lifting of heavy loads, is that much difficult? Yes, of course. Wrong techniques will result in injuries. But while we are using the correct technique, it will be safe handling. Okay. Now, lifting of operation. What does it mean? Just lifting? No. Is the operations concerned with lifting and lowering the load safely. So, the load can be a single item or a number of items. And it can be lifted by a person or by a group of persons. The lifting method can be divided into two types. One is manual lifting techniques and the using lifting equipments. Manual handling of heavy loads. Manual lifting, holding, putting down, carrying or moving is often referred to as manual handling of loads. Many of the accidents reported in industries involve injuries caused by lifting and carrying loads wrongly. A technician may need to install motors, lay heavy cables, do wirings, which may involve a lot of lifting and carrying of loads. But the wrong way of lifting may cause injury to the muscles and joints even though the load is not heavy. It means a load need not necessarily be very heavy to cause injuries. Further injuries during lifting and carrying may be caused by tripping over an object and falling or striking an object with the load. Types of injuries. Cuts and abrasions, crushings of feet or hands, strain to muscles and joints. Now let us see in detail one by one. Cuts and abrasions. Cuts and abrasions are caused by rough surfaces and jagged edges. By splinters and sharp or pointed projections can create these cuts and abrasions. Leather hand gloves will usually be sufficient for protection, but the load should be checked to make sure of this, since large or heavy loads may involve body contact as well. Next one is crushing of feet or hands. Feet or hands should be so positioned that they will not be trapped by the load. Timber wedges can be used when raising and lowering heavy loads to ensure fingers and hands are not caught and crushed. Safety shoes with steel toe caps will protect the feet. The next one is strain to muscles and joints. Strains to muscles and joints may be the result of lifting a load which is too heavy or of lifting incorrectly. Stoop lifting, the lifting from a standing position with the back rounded. That means the stoop lifting increases the chances of back injury. The human spine is not an efficient weightlifting machine and it can be easily damaged if incorrect techniques are used. So, it should be noted the stress on a rounded back can be about 6 times greater than if the spine is kept straight. Now next what we are going to see is factors involved in manual lifting. Loads which seems light enough to carry at first time will become progressively heavier the farther you have to carry it. It means a load will be seems heavier as you carrying it for a long distance, even though the load is not that much heavy. The weight that a person can lift will vary according to his ages, his physique and health condition. The aged people can lift only minimum weight, but the young age people can lift a good weight. So physique and health conditions also involved in the lifting techniques. What makes an object difficult to lift and carry? First one is, weight is not the only factor which makes it difficult to lift and carry. The size and shape can make an object difficult to handle. Light loads require the arms to be extended in front of the body, which places more strain on back and stomach. The absence of handhold or natural handling points can make it difficult to raise and carry the object. Now let us see in details of correct manual lifting techniques. Approach the load squarely facing the direction of the travel. Second one, the lift should start with the lifter in a balanced squatting position with the legs slightly apart and the load to be lifted held close to the body. Then ensure that a safe firm hand grip is obtained. Before the weight is taken, the back should be straightened and held as near the vertical position as possible. Next one is to raise the load, first straighten the legs. Actually, this ensures that the lifting strain is being correctly transmitted and is being taken by the powerful thigh muscles and bones. Now, look directly ahead, not down at the load while straightening up, and keep the back straight. This will ensure a smooth, natural movement without jerking or straining. To complete the lift, raise the upper part of the body to the vertical position. When a load is near to an individual's maximum lifting capacity, it will be necessary to lean back on the hip slightly before straightening up. It could make a counterbalance of the load. Now, keeping the load well near to the body, carry it to the place where it is to be set down. Now, you lifted the load. Now, how to lower the load? There are some methods of lowering the load. So let us see. Make sure the area is clear of any obstructions. Bend the knees to a semi-squatting position. Now, keep the back and head erect by looking straight ahead, not down at the load. It may be helpful to rest the elbows on the thighs during the final stage of lowering. So now you can safely lower the load. Okay, now you understand the safe methods of lifting and lowering the load correctly. Okay, right? So by following the correct techniques of lifting, it will be easy and safe on handling. I hope now you all understand the manual lifting techniques and the factors involved in the lifting, and the possible injuries happens while handling the lifting process, and the correct and safe methods of manual methods. With the continuation of this class, we will see the details of handling of heavy loads using lifting equipments in industry in our part 2 class. Thank you all and see you.